2 hours to go. We've got four speakers left. So we're going to be speaking with PANKKITA, and she's going to be talking about limiting beliefs. And we've also got Bruce Sanchez, who's going to be speaking about limiting beliefs as well, limiting decisions, but they're both going to be coming from a different perspective. So that's going to be really interesting. And just to let you know why we are here, so there's just under 100 coaches that are delivering 100 mini masterclasses. Collectively, we are going to raise a minimum of $5,000. And for the viewers, the people that tune in, we're going to raise a little bit more. So I'm really excited about that. And here is PANKKITA now. So I'm going to welcome PANKKITA to the stage. Hey, superstar, how are you?
Yeah, hello, how are Superstar? I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I am amazing. A little bit tired as well. So I'm looking forward to doing a bit of work after we finish and then just getting a good night's sleep and then do it all again. So can't wait. All right, PANKKITA. Oh, sorry, what were we going to say?
Pankita.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to leave you to it. You do your thing. And then what we'll do about 5-10 minutes towards the end, we can have a chat, see if there's any questions. And then I can ask you some questions as well. And yeah, get going.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for this honor and privilege to be here and support you for this noble cause. Well, my name is Pankita, and before I start, let me some introduction about me. Let me say something about me. My name is Pankita, and I'm from London. I'm ABNLP certified master NLP practitioner and timeline therapist. Today, I am talking about limiting beliefs and how I started this journey. Well, I born and grew up in India, and then in the beginning of my career, I was software developer. Then I came to London in 2004, and after that, like with ups and downs, I did some managerial job. And long story short, in 2016, I got up with a postpartum depression. It was killing actually, and but I decided to change my life. And after 2018, I am in the coaching industry, and so far I enjoy this coaching journey, transforming some people's lives and seeing some amazing results. So yeah, so limiting beliefs. Oh, it's actually a huge topic, but today I'm going to share what is limiting beliefs, how where they come from, how it stopping you to achieve your big goals, what are the symptoms. It means like how do you identify that like you have some limiting beliefs, and what are the strategies. Yeah, join me till end and I will share some cool strategies. So we all heard about the limiting beliefs. It's all about like the statement like in our childhood. So first like the first 7 years, so 0 to 7 years, when we were child, we were so much influenced by our parents, by our society, teachers, and the social media. At that moment, we are we were still like starting to learn how to think, but because we were learning, we were accepted some statement as truth. That's limiting beliefs, and beliefs which are holding you back to achieve your big goals. So, yes, so limiting beliefs are nothing but a simple statements we accepted as truth in our childhood rather than questioning them, challenging them, or without any evidence. That's a simple definition of the limiting beliefs. But we have two types of beliefs. One is empowering and one is disempowering. So I can categorize these limiting beliefs as a disempowering beliefs, right? But the most importantly, you heard that like yeah, we accepted as truth, agree. But as we grow, we start giving the meaning to that statement, right? We accept it as truth. For example, one of your teacher gave you one statement that oh you are not good enough. there might be so many situation in that the teacher told you you are not good enough, but you took it personally. And as you grow up, you pass through so many incidents where you think like, yeah, it is true, yes, it is true, and this is why you fail one incidents after incidents. And at some point you do not want to live your desired life, which is actually that statement holding you back to achieve your desired life or the desired goals, right? But the limiting beliefs is not only the only I can say only to consider about, but there are so many things you need to consider. And I can say like the limiting beliefs also like it determines your behavior and actions. It is like how you see the reality, and I can say it is your reality, right? How you see the world, how you give the meaning to the world. Even I bet that like, okay, when we both are, you and me, we both are in the same situation, you give some different meaning to the some situation. So like, okay, for example, you give some positive meaning and I give some negative meaning, or the vice versa, you give the same situation, you give the negative meaning and I give the positive meaning. So again, so beliefs is also about what you give meaning to the situation, whether it is a positive and the negative. And most of the time, we live in an era that, like, most of the time, people give the negative meaning to the situations. Just now, I shared that, like, okay, for example, once your teacher in your childhood, in your classroom, your teacher told you that you are not good enough, and you grow up with the same statement, like, yes, I am not good enough, I am not good enough. And when you believe that you are not good enough, it is unlikely you go after some opportunity, and sometimes you don't see the opportunity because you are blinded with that limiting beliefs. And there are so many other things. And I also add that, like, limiting beliefs, of course we give some meaning, but it is behind that there are some negative unresolved emotions as well. And why I am saying that, because in the early stage we do not know how to interpret that emotions. We accept them as a truth rather than challenge them, and we do not know how to go with that emotions, right? So for example, let me share one diagram so you know what I mean. So for example, you want to achieve big results, right? You set yourself, oh, is it mirror side? Oh, I think so. So yeah, for example, you set yourself a bigger goal, right? But to achieve that bigger goals, you need to take some actions. So I am just going from, like, the from the bottom. So result at the bottom, right? Or yeah, so bottom is the result, right? So to achieve that result, you need to take some actions, right? You need to take some actions. But how you take some actions? Based on the decisions you make. And but before you make some decisions, you need to go through so many labels. For example, um, if I present you a project where you can make some money, where you can be succeed, where you can have an opportunity to of learning, right? So growth is there, success is there, money is there, learning is there. But deep inside, you have a belief that, oh, I am not good enough. Agree. You might have some other beliefs around money. Oh, money is hard to make. Get it? Then you have some relationship issues. So you have some overwhelming emotions as well. So first, you have thoughts. Thoughts is influencing your decision. Then You have some feelings, then some emotions. Sorry, it's mirror side, so I'm just writing someone later. Then what meaning to get that situation in your past situation? What beliefs you have, what values you have. So all these matter when you make one decision, and it is again not guaranteed that like okay, once you make the decision you will take some actions, because again here beliefs beliefs what you accepted as truth in your childhood, and your subconscious mind always try to protect you, because again through the childhood in the adulthood you add some layers, some stories, some memories to to make that statement true, that like yes, you are not good enough, you are not good enough, you are not good enough, yo, money is hard to make, money is hard to make, money is hard to make, oh, economy is bad. So you are trying to convince yourself, and your subconscious is trying to protect you, because again emotions, right? Because you do not want to hurt yourself, you because you do not. And here again you have, because of these beliefs you might have lots of fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of rejection, fear of success. And this is why the behavior will be procrastination. I have seen so many people that they have the procrastination behavior, or they may try to be the perfectionist rather than trying to take the imperfect actions. This is how, the mechanism is, they make the decision, but again the action is they trying to go away to achieve that results here. So again, even I say that every action has some predictable and unpredictable results. And the belief, overcoming limiting beliefs is not only the one, the one quick side, like okay, if you just overcome one limiting belief, then everything will fall into place. No, we all have some limiting beliefs in one or other areas. You might have some limiting beliefs around yourself, you might have some limiting beliefs around relationship, you might have some limiting beliefs around money, success. It happens and it is completely normal, but you cannot go to overcome all alone, everything all. So you need to step by step, you need to focus on one limiting beliefs, and then you need to address what exactly happened in your childhood, what meaning you gave to that limiting beliefs, what emotion have you gone through that particular day or particular situation, right? And how it influenced everything. So again the result is, I can say that your perfect dish, your success is your perfect dish, but for that perfect dish you need perfect recipe and the perfect ingredients. So to achieve that success you must have right thoughts, right feelings, right emotions, right meaning, right beliefs, and right values. Again, we cannot leave the values, because values are how we think. So again, overcoming limiting beliefs is not something like okay, you can do once and forget about it. No, overcoming limiting beliefs are is a process, actually is a process. And in that one we need to address everything, you need to visit again and again and do the work. It's like ongoing work, and we cannot address all the limiting beliefs at once, but one by one you can overcome limiting beliefs. So it's not impossible, yes it's possible. And most of the people, when they are successful, they have everything in place. And I read one statement, I'm sure, I'm not quite sure when, but the statement was the beliefs that got you to where you are today won't get you to where you want to be tomorrow. Your beliefs must therefore change with time. Yes. So, yes, this is why sometimes I say people think like, oh, I have only one limiting belief. No, you may have more than one limiting beliefs, and you never know because sometimes you don't see your own blind spots. It needs your personal attention, support, and accountability. And when you have that support, accountability with the right people, then it's easy to overcome. It is like you cannot do your own heart surgery. You need heart specialist to diagnose and then do the surgery. So again, the overcoming limiting beliefs needs the same, right? Same in the sense like we need to find out because you are unique. Your childhood was unique. Your life is unique. Your challenges are unique. So everything is unique about you. And this is why you need personal attention because your child experiences are different and unique to you. You might have given some different meaning than actual it is. Your when your teacher said to you in your childhood that like oh, you are not good enough, but there are some other meanings there as well. Maybe she or he has not a good day with her or his partner. Maybe he has some fight with at work, or maybe she or he wanted to motivate you so that you can improve. But as you grew, you gave the wrong meaning or the negative meaning, and you had some overwhelming emotion attached to that incident. So, yes, by addressing those emotions, those meaning, it is easy to overcome self-limiting beliefs. And once you have each and every sorry once you overcome each and every limiting beliefs, your life transform, and your confidence go up, and you become resilient and stronger. So it is very important to overcome. And I can add one line as well, like if you believe that you don't deserve anything, it is unlikely you go after that. And this is why most people they do not go after the big goals, and they stay in that, like, the comfort zone, and they do not want to achieve anything because they have lots of fear of failure. Again, I'm saying lots of fear of failure. And I add one incidence, not an incidence, like my client story. When she came to me and she said like her limiting beliefs was I do not have enough resources. I said, okay, great. What do you mean by not having enough resources? Because 4 years ago she had some financial losses in her business, and it was a joint venture with her husband. And because there's some like mismanagement and mismanagement from the admin side and them side, they had some losses, and they give the meaning that we do not have some enough resources. I address all the emotions and the meaning she gave to the incidents because she didn't want to experience the same loss again. we I addressed them properly, and within that 4 years time, she tried different things, but it is not like helping her to move forward. So she was stuck in her business because every time she started to move forward, she have a limiting beliefs that like, oh, I do not have the enough resources. So yes, these types of limiting beliefs appear again and again until you address the root cause. What I mean by the root cause is root cause of root emotions. What did you felt that time? What emotions were there at that time when you heard um, this statement? So again, it needed to address them properly. So within 15 minutes, only 15 minutes, I changed her limiting beliefs, and now she's doing great in her business. So this is the power of transformation. And when I say the transformation, yes, most of the time people go after the easy thing. I can say the easy thing. They read the book, they watch the YouTube videos, and they think like, okay, I will do it myself. But again, you cannot see your own blind spot. You think like, okay, I have some limiting beliefs, but you do not know what's deeper that, like, or what's underneath it. So you need some specialist or some trained people or the coaches, so that like they can ask you the right questions, because you might not know the right questions. So this is this is it from my side, and I can share like what to do. Yeah, I get it. And one of who is watching me here, they might know that like, oh, I get it, I have some limiting beliefs, but what's next? What's next? Yeah, so there are two types of solution to overcome self-limiting beliefs. One is information, and another is transformation. Information, yes, I can give you some information. Information which is DIY, do it your sorry DIY, do it yourself. So do it yourself, like journaling. Do journaling, so that like, when you journal, it is the power of pen and paper. When you journal, you open up your mind. So mind mapping, just write down about that incident or what you feel about that incident, so that like, it is completely different game when you just think and when you completely put on the paper. So journaling is a one idea. Second is affirmation, but again I say that like, transformation is completely different. Transformation is very quick and give you the permanent result. But yes, if you want to go with yourself only, you can go with the affirmation. And just don't go with any affirmation, go with the right affirmation. When you feel it is right, then and then go after with the um, right affirmation. And the challenge your belief, it is very important to challenge your belief, otherwise it will stick with you for forever, and you will be stuck at the same place for forever. Because I have seen some people like, they are still there where they were five years ago or 10 years ago, and they are still there and they are happy. There is nothing wrong, there is nothing wrong. But my point is, when you have lots of potential, then why waste it? Just live the life fully, because we are here to live the life fully, experience the life, not just like holding ourselves back, to live the purposeful life. And for that, if you want to go extra, just go extra. Again, I just remind you, the beliefs that you got you to where you are today won't get you to where you want to be tomorrow. So yes, it is ongoing process. It is an ongoing process. So hope this is helpful. And if you have any questions, you can just pop in here or send in the comment. Thank you, Dre, for giving me this opportunity to talk about
Uh,
limiting.
you are so welcome. Yeah, thank you for that. That was fire, absolute fire. So I loved it. Question for you. In relation to, I guess, your clients, what would be, some of the common challenges or frustrations that they have? Is it around like limiting beliefs, or is it something else that you see?
Yeah, yeah. So challenges are like in the surface level, they are stuck in the business, they are not achieving some goals. But when I ask the right question and when we dig deep, then the common limiting beliefs, it always end up with the limiting beliefs. And the limiting beliefs are, oh, I'm not good enough, means imposter syndrome. I don't have time, I don't have money, I don't have resources. So these are the common limiting beliefs. And even though some people don't find themselves to be loved, and again, or what if I will be judged? What if I will be rejected? This is why, like, most people, they have lots of fear going live on camera. They want to be in a comfort zone, they don't want to face the camera. There are lots of anxiety. They feel so stressful when we tell them to go live. So surface level problems, stuck in the business, stuck in a relationship, not feeling good about themselves. I am not good enough. Not taking that first step towards that
Yeah.
achieving their next level goals. They are still stuck in the same place where they were before. So stuck in the business and stuck in the relationship.
Awesome. Thank you. And what's the best way for people to get hold of you?
I'm on Facebook, and yeah, I'm Facebook on LinkedIn and YouTube, and on my website as well. My first name, last name, PANKKITA.com. So yes, you have a chance to download my ebook, How to Become Unstoppable, and at the end, there is a 60-minute complimentary session where I can help you to find out what are your limiting beliefs, because you might think that like, okay, you have only one, but I have a list of 100 limiting beliefs, which is common. So you may resonate with so many, and once we identify the limiting beliefs, then it is easy to overcome it. But before, you need that awareness. You need to know what are your limiting beliefs. So, yes, you can grab an opportunity to have one-on-one 60-minute session, complimentary session with me to identify what is holding you back in your life. What are your dream goals? And once you we set that goals, when we identify what is holding you back, then it's easy. It's easy to accomplish.
Awesome. And very last question, actually, two questions. Do you have any like workshops or challenges or anything coming up or
Not really,
seminars?
because I just finished one challenge.
Mhm.
But you can take the opportunity to have one-on-one session with me. Anyone who is interested.
Okay, awesome. And any final words? Is there anything that you'd like to leave us with?
Um, Live your life fully. Believe in yourself fully. Believe in yourself that you can achieve anything.
Boom, shake the room. Right, Pankita, I just want to say a massive, huge thank you to you for coming on today, being part of what we're creating over these 3 days. Just magnificent, marvelous, and you are just, I've got so much love for you. And yeah, thank you for everything.
Thank you so much again, Trey, for giving me this opportunity to help you and support you for the Noble cause. I know it is a big thing, and you are on fire. Like it is not easy to run this type of masterclass 3 days from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. and just for the Noble cause. So I highly appreciate you and may God bless you. Keep doing, keep shining, and love you all.
All right, I'll see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, next up we have Mr. Bruce Sanchez. All right, get yourself out here, Bruce. How are you,
Hey, what's
legend?
happening, brother? Oh, good morning
All
here
good?
from Colombia, the beautiful and tropical Colombia. Good
Oh,
evening from Australia. Yes, this is a 32-degree winter. Oh, I'm suffering. I'm sad.
oh, sounds horrible. Sounds horrible. Wait, how long have you
It's
been in
terrible.
Colombia?
Since February this year.
That's right.
So, can you hear me
Yeah,
well?
'cause
First, is housekeeping. Yes,
yeah,
good.
I can
Excellent.
hear you
Yeah,
good because I
beautiful.
remember, yeah, seeing a post on Facebook, and you're like, "We're out. We're going to Colombia," and
Yeah, just wrap it up. Just go. Just a little break. Just a new stage or a new adventure. Yeah, why not? Yeah,
yeah,
one
and you
hundred
had you,
percent.
you had a birthday out there as well, didn't you? You had your
The same day that I landed here, and this is my house with our house, my wife and I. It just we landed just on my birthday.
wow, wow. So what's the plan? Are you going to stay out there? Is that home, or depending what happens in the world, or
Yeah, depends on what happened in the world, but mainly it's what happens with our world. So we don't have plans like a strategic plan, like we're gonna do this and
yeah,
that. It's just
see what happens?
whatever. We probably want to spend the rest of the year here, probably because I can build a business and just dedicating, investing in myself 100%, which is amazing. And then after that. Who F knows?
Yeah, that's exciting. All right, so
Yeah.
Bruce, I'm gonna leave you to it. So, are you speaking about limiting beliefs? Or
Yeah, that's a coincidence, eh? Yeah, exactly that. But I'm gonna
yeah,
talk more.
yeah,
I'm gonna go deeper on the subconscious mind. But yes, it's a limiting beliefs what I'm doing. Yeah.
yeah, awesome. So over today, we've had like a couple of people speak about it, but everyone's sort of come from. We had PANKKITA just before, but everyone seems to have come from sort of like different angles. So yeah, it's going to be
Yeah, exactly.
really interesting. All right, so I will see you probably in about 20, 25 minutes or so. If you need anything at all, just give me a
Yeah.
shout. I'll be here in the background, and yeah, let's do
Yes.
this.
Yes. All right. So thank you so much, Dre, for inviting me, for having me your thoughts for this cause. I'm just kidding. So thank you so much for this opportunity and for I can have the opportunity to share this with your audience and talking about limiting beliefs. It's a huge topic, right? So just for disclosure, just whatever I'm gonna say here, it's gonna be some facts, let's say scientific facts, and my own experience. You don't have to believe what I'm saying. You don't have to take my word for it. All right? I'm going to share my experience and I'm going to share how I overcame my limiting beliefs. In this case, is using a process called Psy-K, which is a psychology energy process, and how the work of Bruce Lipton also helped me to overcome this. So let's first things first. Let's talk about the limiting beliefs. Why are these limiting beliefs coming from? What this is happening and to us? So let's put it this way. When we're born, when we're kids for the first 7 years of age, that's exactly when we download the most information in our life. Let's say, I'm saying download because subconscious mind, I'll tell you the difference between subconscious mind and conscious mind. Subconscious mind operates like a computer, like an iPod. All right, you'll get it in a few minutes. So even before we're born, for the last 3 months of the pregnancy, when we are in the in the mom's belly, we are receptive from our environment. This is not me. This is a science. So what happened in the first 7 years? Why did everybody saying this so important, so crucial? This is very important because in the first 7 years of age, we don't have a conscious mind. We are not aware of who we are. All right, we are just here, and then we are, like I said, downloading information mainly from the environment, the closest environment, which normally is as a home or family environment. Then the social environment could be, well, at that age, maybe we don't have that many friends, but I don't know, maybe the school and everything around us is, let's say, it's like kind of our school, right? So we don't have a conscious mind when we are so young, when we were kids. We are not aware of who we are. We don't know exactly what we want in life or what we like or what is true, what is not. That's why we don't have a conscious mind. So this is the big difference. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to talk about a little bit about conscious and subconscious mind. So the conscious mind is exactly the mind that which is aware of what we're doing. So you're watching here, you're listening to me. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Just kidding. So, and the conscious mind judges the information. This is what I like, this is what I don't like, this is right, and this is wrong. Okay, conscious mind is operating most of the time in the past and in the future. Doesn't sound familiar for you? Just raise your hand if you're all the time hanging out in the past and the future. Something that happened yesterday, last year, maybe someone told you something you didn't like, you still remember that? Well, you're using your conscious mind. Or you're planning something for tomorrow, for the next month, or for the next year, or the next 3 or 5 years. Well, we operate the conscious mind. It's the one who is responsible to set goals and desires. Has a limited capacity of processing, like it can handle between 1 and 3 tasks at the same time. So even men can do that. So, so this is a conscious mind, and also it can process about 40 bits of information per second. 40 bits of information per second. Remember this. Remember this because with the subconscious mind, we're going to see the huge difference. Why is so important? Subconscious mind. Why is more important than the conscious mind? Now we go to the subconscious mind. It's more like a habitual mind. Habitual mind. Also, subconscious mind can handle thousands of tasks at the same time. Actually, we are using the subconscious mind, all of us, right now. How so? I mean, how is that? Well, while we breathe in, we're using the subconscious mind. It's commanding how to breathe. Can you explain me how to breathe? Do you know how to do that? No, it's just subconscious mind knows how to do it. So it operates, monitors the operation of the body, such as breathing, eating, digesting, moving the muscles, so on and so forth. Has a very well, it's timeless. I mean, it's time present only. Subconscious mind doesn't get about yesterday, about tomorrow. It doesn't get about 5 minutes ago. It just cares about now. This is a huge difference between subconscious and conscious mind. And this is and the next one is going to be even bigger. So it has a very expensive, expanded processing capacity. It can process, pay attention to this, 40, again, 40 million bits per second. 40 million bits per second. So it is 1 million times more powerful than your conscious mind. 1 million times more powerful. And it operates in a completely different way. Remember, conscious mind, past, future, subconscious mind, present. Conscious mind, it handles 1 to 3 tasks. Subconscious mind, thousands. Okay? Conscious mind, 40 bits information per second. Subconscious mind, 40 million bits of information. So um, with all this said, so you might think, well, what is this relevant? I mean, why is still this is relevant to, why the limiting beliefs and what we self-sabotage ourselves and so on and so forth? Well, let me tell you something. Do you remember those iPods, the little iPods that you had to, play, download the music and listen? I can't remember how many songs you can download it at that time. Imagine this: it's your subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind is like an iPod. Do you remember when you bought it, or you saw someone having a new iPod taken out of the box, and you just knew without music? You press the play button. What happens? It doesn't work. Why? Because it needs music to download. You need to download music in order to operate that thing, right? Subconscious mind works exactly the same. It needs information, programs, in order to function, to function the functioning, the subconscious mind. Did the iPods tell you that, for example, oh, you're listening too much heavy metal, death metal, or hardcore? No, you need to change. You need to listen more classical music, for example. Did it say that? No. It plays the music you download in the device. Subconscious mind works exactly the same. Remember, conscious mind judges information, knows what you like, what you don't like. Subconscious mind doesn't get it. So it gets all the information from the environment first, and then if it's anything like a kind of messaging, like for example, the most common ones, like you're enough, you stress me out. Why like your brother, your sister, um, you're useless. Those kind of messaging are coming when we are kids, coming over and over and over. You know what's going to happen? Boom! It's going to get into your subconscious mind without even being aware of. So messages like, you're not good enough. Who do you think you are? You're going to do this or you're going to do that. Probably we don't get this kind of messaging when we were kids, but most of the time parents are like, please, can you please stay there for a moment, be quiet? You stress me out. Oh my God, what a kid. You know what I mean? Those kind of messaging have an impact. Because like I say, in the first 7 years of age, the conscious mind doesn't operate. So whatever the information we get when we are at that age is going to get integrated into the subconscious mind. Subconscious mind is going to take it as valid, as legit, as truth. Regardless if it's not for you, I mean, consciously it's not right for you, it's not good for us. But subconscious mind doesn't get about right and wrong. It gets the information and it's okay, done. Because one of the things that the subconscious mind operates and transform, and you can change it by repetition also. And then see if a message, if it's negative or not, it's repeated in your life. Subconscious mind is going to take, whoop, all right, Roger that. We're going to operate from here. What happens after 7 when we turn 7? Subconscious mind starts to operate based on the beliefs of the messaging of the environment you have for the first 7 years. So neuroscience, epigenetics, quantum physics says that after 7 years of age, we formed 95% of our beliefs for the rest of our life. 95% are created in the first 7 years of age. That's why it's so crucial. Crucial. And then for the rest of it, then you might wonder, well, what about the rest of it? There is any option for me? Can I change anything like a limiting belief that is really affecting my life? Yes, we can. But what's happening? We don't know how to connect, how to communicate, how to operate in the way the subconscious mind gets it. Why is that? You tell me. How many times, or how many books have you read and you get super pumped, we're reading, motivated, and then what happens a few days or a few weeks later? Boom, you go back again where you were. It's not by accident. I'll tell you why now. What happens when you, I don't know, you make doing some courses and programs, you're attending workshops and stuff? Wow, you get super pumped. And then after that, even sometimes even taking action, it's not enough. Why is that? I mean, let's be honest. I'm gonna be honest. I read hundreds of books, right? And I remember I started like, yeah, this book changed my life and stuff. Did it change it? I mean, did it really change my life? I'm gonna be honest. No, it didn't. For me, this is my experience again. Huh? I told you before. It didn't. I mean, yeah, I got some great insights, but because we are trying to make changes from the conscious mind, which is a million times less powerful than the subconscious mind. Imagine an iceberg. It's like trying to move an iceberg with a little boat with a rope and try to move it, because the tip of the iceberg will be the conscious mind and the bottom will be the subconscious mind. I mean, why trauma happened this quick? How is that? And why trauma takes so long to heal from it, to get rid of it, to get it, to understand it? Why is that? Because trauma happens in a way that subconscious mind gets it. It's not obviously this is the no it's not the most recommendable way to do changes in the subconscious mind, obviously. But when you for example have a shocking event mixed with energy with emotion, boom, gets imprinted into your subconscious mind, and then we're trying to get rid of it or heal from it from the conscious mind. That's why it's so really hard, so really hard. I've been there for decades. My most toxic relationship and most limiting belief was always money, money. Money is, for example, let me put a number, 85% of the reason that people or clients reach me out, money. limiting beliefs around financial situations, so especially now these days. Actually, yesterday I had a live conference in a television talking about this, talk about the money relationship with money. So money, according to statistics, sorry, is the biggest stressors in people's life. Not all people, but it's in according to statistics, is the most stressor, the biggest stressor in people's life, followed but work, relationships, health, and work. Money, okay? Relationship, health, and work. Those are the four biggest stresses in people's life. So why this is happening? I mean, how do I know I have limiting beliefs or sabotage myself or I have blocks? Easy. You want to know how to identify at least the area that you need to focus on or pay more attention to, because we don't know exactly, okay, do I have limiting beliefs? Because sometimes clients come to my sessions and asking, well, I don't know if I have limiting beliefs. Easy. Do this. Have a look at the things that, for example, you do well, that is easy for you to be a success. Could be anything. Could be playing sports, could be reading books, or could be whatever it is. Okay, those things that you're doing well, like almost feeling like a naturally well, it means your subconscious mind supports that idea, supports that goal or that wish or whatever. Beautiful. Whatever you are struggling with in your life, not necessarily it has to be just money. I mean, yeah, can you save money? Do you like your bank account? It feels impossible to grow that bank account. It always remains in the same place. It doesn't move at all. If it does, it's always down instead of up. Do you struggle to get a partner, a relationship with someone? Do you struggle to change your job, to promote yourself, and so on and so forth? Whatever you are struggling with in your life, the only thing that means is your subconscious mind doesn't support that. And while your subconscious mind doesn't support that, you're going to struggle. This is a little bit bold for the rest of your life, unless you start taking some action. But be careful with the action we take it, because not all action works. Not all action works. I've done it. I have spent or invested thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in training, which I love it. I've been doing, I mean, action taker. This is my second name. Come on. And I'm still struggling with my money situation, with my financial situation, because I was working in the way the subconscious mind didn't get it. The subconscious mind didn't get it. That's what most of us do, go through life in a way the subconscious mind goes for one side and conscious mind goes to the other one. And that's why we feel so lost. And why is this happening? I mean, it's something that's in my genes. I think, no, there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with us. It's the way the subconscious mind operates. Subconscious mind is amazing, because when it learns something at once, boom, you don't need to learn it anymore. Again, for example, walking. Do you remember how to walk? Huh? What would it be your life if you had to learn every morning when you wake up to walk? It would be a nightmare. No, subconscious mind gets it, boom, boom, for the rest of your life. You remember when we start driving in the drive school? The first, fuck, you don't have eyes, you don't have feet enough to control everything. What happens a few weeks or a few months later? Boom, you drive just alone. I mean, sometimes even like this, or just with your legs. I've done that in Spain. Because your subconscious mind takes over. Learn something, boom, for the rest of your life. It's like riding a bicycle. You might be, decades with, not riding a bicycle. You get it, takes a couple of minutes, boom, back again. That's the power of subconscious mind. But in the same way the subconscious mind is so powerful in that way, it could be that powerful in the other way. All right? So it's not that your subconscious mind wants you bad. The thing is the subconscious mind wants you safe. And then if the subconscious mind has been receiving messages like money is the root of all evil, you are useless, you're not enough, It's gonna say, okay, you're not enough. If you're trying to, for example, let's talk about money. That's my expertise. Okay, you want money, but be careful because money is the root of all evil. Money can corrupt yourself. You can end up in jail because you might turn or become greedy and stuff like that. No, 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 no. So forget about this and let's remain in this space. That's the power of subconscious mind. Doesn't understand that because you want something consciously, because you want it, because something good for you, doesn't get it. Because subconscious mind still believes that that is not for you. That's why self-sabotage come from. That's why self-sabotage works. It's trying to keep you safe. So, well, how do you do it then? Well, I said before, this is my experience. I came across, Bruce Lipton came across into my life, and with Bruce Lipton, biology of belief, and then Psyche. Psyche, it's a energy psychology modality. It's a process that we do. We work with the subconscious mind. We create limiting beliefs at the subconscious level of the mind in, listen to this, a matter of minutes. I know how bold this sounds. A matter of minutes, because if trauma happens this quick, it has to be something that effective at least. Maybe not this quick, but instead of maybe half a second, let's say 10 minutes. It has to be. It has to be. And for me, this is the way that I could make those changes in a matter of minutes. It doesn't mean in 10 minutes your life is going to change forever, which means whatever you're struggling with, when we start working on those changes or limiting beliefs, once we start creating and changing, let's say removing, integrating new beliefs, what we're doing is removing the blocks and the limitations. So you still need to take your actions, but at least your subconscious mind or yourself is not gonna get in your way. We wanna work together as a team work. You understand now? Bruce Lipton, if you want a quick tip, I tried this one for a little bit because then I said, nah, I need to try this. It's like, but for example, I tried this for a few days. If you want to give it a go, I think most of us have this. Let's do something. Whatever you're struggling with, relationships, money, whatever, okay? You wanna start changing your programs, your subconscious beliefs? Okay, let's do this. Grab this and record yourself in this way. Very important. It has to be like a kind of affirmation, but it has to be in present tense. Present tense. Nothing about yesterday or tomorrow, nothing future. Remember? Subconscious mind, present tense. Words like want, forget about it. Don't use want, because want is a future tense. It's a desire. For example, I want a new car or I want a new relationship. Forget about that word. If you want a new relationship, I have a relationship or I have an amazing relationship, whatever, or money, whatever. Present tense, first person is always about you, no one else, okay? You don't try to create a new statement about someone else. You want someone else doing something for you. It doesn't work. And it has to be positive oriented, okay? Focus on what you want, not what you don't want. For example, I don't want that kind of people in my life. Subconscious mind is not gonna get it. Okay, you don't want this. What the hell you want? Okay, focus on what you want. Okay, record yourself for at least 15, 20 minutes. I am abandoned in my life. I am abandoned in my life. Give it some meaning, some feeling, okay? Because subconscious mind works with feelings. Remember, shocking events, emotions, feelings, works with feelings. Do it for at least 15, 20 minutes. Let's put it this way. Okay, when you go to sleep at night time, if you sleep at night time or you sleep in the morning because you work night shifts, like I did back in the day, just go to sleep, put the headphones and play your recording, okay? Because there is a little window from when we go into sleep to when we get dead, which takes me just a few minutes, that the subconscious mind operates from the theta vibrational state. Theta is the hypnosis or the hypnosis state, which is the subconscious mind operates. Okay, try that for how many times, how many days, or how many times? I don't know. I tried for a few days, but because I started doing Psyche was much quicker. But if you're going to start trying something new, try this, okay? Because It might work for you, or it might not. But at least we're going to start doing it something, because, like I said, consciously wanting and something is not enough. Otherwise, with just only wanting something and have the good intentions and the willpower, if that wasn't just enough, everybody here will be living the life that they dream of. It is not the case. Why? Because we are not working in the way the subconscious mind, again, gets us. That's crucial. That's crucial. That's why the limiting beliefs happen, because limiting beliefs, there are all the things that there are programs that the programming that you have received when you were a kid. But these programs still affected us at this age, because when something happens, like, in the especially media, mainstream media, news, and all this stuff, repeating like fear, be careful here. There's a enemy out there is gonna, is gonna get you, is gonna get you sick, and gonna kill you, your family, blah blah blah, all the time. Once, over and over and over and over again, boom, it's going to get into your subconscious mind. This is another tip that I suggest. Please turn off the news, turn off the TV, and let's create a future that's empowering us. Because believe it or not, my friends, you may us have that power to create whatever you want in life. I know this sounds like a cheesy and topic. Yeah, I thought exactly the same. I was one of the come on, shut up, tell me something that I don't know. Mate, I had experience in my freaking body. Right? I just experienced it with my whole body. When you start living, resonating with yourself, with your whole body, your life starts to change. 20 years ago, I was struggling with addictions. You know what happened when I say enough is enough? Like with my whole freaking body? I said, no, I'm done. No, like, I'm going to try. No. When I said, no, I'm done, my life has started to change. I'm not saying my life changed overnight and I got off addictions like this. No. But the events, the decisions that I started making from that place were completely different than the ones that I did before. And when we start living, when we start coming from a place of self-love, from forgiveness, for allowances, from awesomeness from ourselves first, instead of coming from fear, doubt, anger, and something else, when we're coming from a pure state of us, oneself, your life starts to change in a way, for example, that me, for example, with my money situation. Now, the decisions that I'm making right now, the choices that I'm making, the people that are coming to my life right now, are completely different than just a few months ago. Why? Because I get over my emotional baggage. I healed myself, my wounds. My friends, that makes a huge impact, not just in your life, the life around you. So my friends, Dre, I don't know how's the time, Dre, because I tend to speak too much.
No, that was oh mate, I love that, because yeah, just like the passion and all the information behind it. So you're an absolute super legend. Before you go, how do people
Yes.
get hold of you? And do you have any workshops, challenges, programs, seminars, anything at all that people can jump on?
Yeah, at the moment, because I'm doing a lot of private online events, I did a conference yesterday on the TV television. However, well, we don't work psychic. That's what I do. We don't have programs at itself. We have packages. But if someone wants to have a quick call, 30 minutes call, please. And then you want to try a few sessions, please reach me out on Facebook. That will be the quickest way on Facebook, on my profile, personal profile. I have a business page, but it's not ready yet. My profile, please type hot fire, block letters, hot fire. So I know where you're coming from. And then if you decide to work with me for 4 sessions, this is the most popular one. I give you a nice gift, okay? But please, hot fire. Otherwise, you get nothing.
I love that hot fire, Bruce. Yeah, thank you so much for coming on today, to jumping in and to help out, and
Thank
just
you.
all the value that you've given, and yeah, your contribution as well. So I really appreciate that, because yeah, that was more than than you needed to. So I really appreciate that.
No, thank you. Thank you for
Yeah.
doing this, for having me in your thoughts, at least in this way, not in other ways. I, nothing happens to her, you know. I mean, I just kidding. You know, Spanish background. You know, we always, how we are Latinos and Spanish. We are so dirty.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, buddy. You enjoy the rest of your
Uh,
day, and yeah, we'll catch up really
Thank
soon.
you.
Yeah, thanks,
Thank
mate.
you so much. Take care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that was Bruce Sanchez, and that was fire, absolute fire. And if you are going to reach out to Bruce, remember to put hot fire in the comments or in the message, and he will reach out to you. So, let's get the next guest out here. I think she's excited. I can see her in the background. Yeah, let's get ready to rumble. All right. We've got two more. The penultimate. Antoinette de BARR, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. How are you? You must be shattered, Dre.
I am a little bit tired. A little bit tired. So I'm going to be
It's
glad.
amazing what you're doing.
Yeah, thank you. I'll be glad because I need to schedule a few more links, then send the links out to everyone, and then get a good night's sleep, and then I'll be right as rain for the next couple of days. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Antoinette, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Yeah, I live in England in the United Kingdom, and I'm a life coach. I've been doing sort of coaching bits on the side for the past few years, but just very recently launched it as a business. So yeah, I'm very excited to be here. I kind of work a lot with helping people just be set free from fear and all the things that bind us, shame, believing lies over ourselves, and just people that want to live in that freedom and wholeness and be whole body, soul, and spirit.
Love it. I am excited, really excited. All right. So are you going to be speaking? Do you need like a slideshow or anything like that? Or
Just speaking.
okay.
Just
All right.
gonna share from my heart.
I will leave you to it. If you need anything, just give us a shout. I'll be watching in the background. See you soon.
Okay. Thank you. Hi, everyone. And I just want to say again, thank you, Dre, for inviting me to speak. This is such a privilege and an honor to be part of such a worthy cause. And like these masterclasses have been amazing. They've been incredible. So if you haven't had a chance to watch all of them, I suggest you go back and watch them all. That's what I'm going to do. So it's an honor to be here speaking to you all. So just a little bit about me. I've already shared a little bit, but I am a single mom to almost 10-year-old boy, Joshua. He's 10 on Sunday, same birthday as Dre. And got a little pup, Teddy, as well. And my life has been an interesting journey because I've come from a lot of brokenness and a lot of dysfunction. And I've had to unlearn and relearn a lot of things throughout my life. And so that's kind of where my coaching comes from. That's where my heart comes from. And my passion comes from is the life that I've lived and the way that I've been able to heal and grow and step into that freedom and wholeness myself. And just it's a privilege to be able to help other people do that too. I've not done it on my own. I've had people come alongside me on the journey. And yeah, it's definitely it's not something that you can do on your own. I think you need people around you. And so I want to just talk a little bit about your past doesn't define you. So we've all got a past, no matter how young, no matter how old we are. If we're just one day old, there's a past. And that's life. There's always going to be a past. Tomorrow, our today will be our past. We can't get away from that. And I find that there's things that can happen in our past that we can carry with us to the future, to the present and to the future. And there's two sides to things. So things that we've done in our past, we've all done things that we regret in our past. We've made mistakes, we've made bad choices. I know I've made plenty of those. But the results of those bad choices that we've made and the result of those mistakes that we've made, can quite often, if we don't know how to deal with them in a healthy way, they can quite often just lead us to living in that fear and that shame and doubt and hiding away and running away. So I can't count the amount of times where I've sort of made a mistake, or I've made a bad choice in a situation, and then I just kind of wanted the ground to just swallow me whole and just not show my face, and just want to hide away and not have to face things, not have to take responsibility, because it's comfortable. It's easier to not have to take responsibility and to not have to face things. And that's not just things that we've done, there's things that we say as well. Again, the amount of times that I have said things and wish that I could just pull my words right back in and just seal my mouth up. But unfortunately, it's like that tube of toothpaste. Once that toothpaste is out, it's not going back in. And once the words are out there, once we've said those words, they can't go back in. But the thing is, when we make those mistakes and when we make those bad choices, we start to tell ourselves narrative of, I'm not good, I'm no good. If we made a bad decision in something that we did, we can tell ourselves things like, I'm not good enough, I'm not good at this, I shouldn't be doing this. In speaking, the words that we speak over people have power. But on the flip side of this as well is things that have been done to us. We've all been hurt one way, shape, or form. Everyone on this planet, if you're a human being, you've experienced some form of disappointment, some form of discouragement, some form of pain. And that is, unfortunately, a part of life. But again, when we go through hurt and when we go through pain, when we go through things like abuse or bullying is a good example. If you've been bullied, not just in school when you were a kid, but in the workplace as well, those kind of things can have a real effect on us, even if it's something as little as, a teacher saying that piece of work is really stupid or that wasn't good enough. And when things happen to us, we tell ourselves a narrative the same way as when we do things that we maybe shouldn't. We tell ourselves a narrative. And what we speak over ourselves, what we tell ourselves in our mind, that has a huge effect on how we live our lives. So when we make a mistake, if we tell ourselves, oh, I'm so stupid, I'm no good at that, I shouldn't have done that. That's what we're telling ourselves. We're telling ourselves that we're no good at that, that we're not worthy, that we should just hide away. But when we change the narrative and we flip how we're speaking and how we are responding to a situation that we've been responsible for or that has been done to us, when we take responsibility and we change the narrative, we can say, yeah, that maybe wasn't the best choice, but I'm going to learn from that and I'm going to grow from that. And so it's okay. Mistakes and bad choices are a part of life. That doesn't mean just because I made a bad choice doesn't make me a bad person. And we can quite often, especially when we come from those wounded places, we can quite often attach what we do with who we are. And they are completely separate. Our identity is not in what we do. Our identity is completely separate to that. So even if we've made a bad choice, doesn't make us a bad person. And the same way that even if people have hurt us or people have rejected us, if you think about relationships, how many times in your lives have you experienced a relationship, not just romantic relationship, but friendships, family? How many times have you experienced the relationship breakdown and struggles there, and automatically you take that on as rejection, as you are not good enough, you are not worthy enough, you are not lovable enough. And when we believe those lies, they have power over our lives. And so part of my story is abuse. I've been through quite a bit of abuse in my life and again, healed and grown through it. But one of the things I find is very common that people speak about and label themselves in sort of when you in any kind of community where people have been abused is they call themselves a victim. And even that has so much power, to call themselves a victim. But if you flip that and they're not a victim, I say to people, if you are breathing and standing and living today, you are not a victim, you are a survivor. And that's not your identity. But just the way that you are labeling yourself has a huge effect on us. Our words have so much power. In my opinion, the best book ever written and my favorite book in the world, in the Bible, in Proverbs, it says that the power of life and death is in the tongue. And that shows us the power of our words. We have the power to speak life, and we have the power to speak death over other people, but over ourselves as well. And we have a choice. That's the key here, is that we have a choice whether we speak life or whether we speak death. And I give you an example. This is something that that I sort of witnessed over the years that really kind of made this statement that our words have power come to life for me. It was my son's report in school. He came home and he brought his workbook home, and I was reading through the report. And in the report, it was a lot of, you forgot capital letters again. Where are your paragraphs? How many times do I have to tell you about spelling? You're not checking your work again. And then on the other page, there'd be like capital letters and loads of exclamation marks. And I just felt like, that's not very helpful. That's not very encouraging. And then, but you know, that's a teacher. That's how they mark their work. So nothing I can really do about it. And then the following year, my son brings home his books from school again. And I'm looking through the books and I'm seeing, what an excellent piece of work, Joshua. Your vocabulary is fantastic. Let's just please try and remember to always check our capital letters. And the difference, they were saying the same thing. They were telling him that he needs to work on his capital letters. But the way that they said it, the words that they chose to use, can bring life and can really encourage someone and actually empower someone to want to do better. Or they can really discourage someone, and you speak death over people. And you know, when my son would read that, he wouldn't want to try. He just think, well, what's the point? I'm obviously no good at it. Whereas when the next year, he excelled in school that year. And that was during lockdown as well. He excelled that year because of the life that the teacher was speaking into him and the encouragement that he was giving him. And so we have a choice whether we choose to believe lies that have been spoken over us or not. And we have a choice whether we allow our past to define who we are today. Our past can be something that we choose to allow it to affect our lives. We can blame our past. There's many, many things in my past that I could blame my today on. And I could say, oh yeah, I'm like this because of this. I've done this because of this. But we have a choice whether we take responsibility and say, no, my past doesn't define who I am. That's just something that was done to me. That mistake I made doesn't define who I am as a person. That was just a bad choice that I make. And I'm going to learn from that and grow from that and take responsibility for that. And that's how we develop, and that's how we grow. And we've got to change the narrative that we're speaking, because the words that we allow and the thoughts that we allow into our minds will have an effect on our lives. And there's a saying, I kind of say this to all my clients, is a renewed mind is a renewed life. When we renew our mind, when we are putting good things into it, when we are watching who we're following on social media, the movies that we're looking at, the books that we read, music, lyrics that we listen to, when we are choosing to renew our minds with good and uplifting and pure and positive things, that has a huge effect on our life. And the same way is the other way. If we choose to fill our lives with loads of rubbish And things that don't help us, things that don't lift us up, things that don't encourage us, things that don't speak life over us, then that has a huge effect on our life. So we have a choice. We can change the narrative that we are telling ourselves. And I want to say as well, be kind to yourself, because so often we can hold on to regrets, and we can hold on to mistakes that we've made, and we can hold on to traumas that we've been through in our life and things that have been said and done to us. We can hold on to those and carry them with us. And have you ever met someone that is just so ridden with bitterness and anger and resentment, and everything they say is negative? Everything they speak about is a complaint. There's just this, it's like the joy has just been sapped from them. If you trace that line back in that person, there's somewhere where either something that was done to them and they haven't been able to forgive that person and let go of that, or something that they've done and they haven't been able to forgive themselves. And that's quite often, in my experience, the hardest thing, is to forgive yourself. But we've got to give ourselves grace, and we've got to be kind to ourselves, because we're all on a learning journey. None of us have arrived. I always say that the only time we're ever going to need to not grow is when we're dead and in heaven, because there's always something to learn. There is always something to grow. There's always more that we can develop with. It's a never ending journey. So you have a choice, and I want to encourage you to choose life and choose freedom and renew your mind and make a decision that you're not going to let anything that you've done or anything that has been done to you in your past define your today or your tomorrow, because it's your choice. Thank you very much for listening.
Antoinette, that was awesome. Absolutely awesome. Fire. It could resonate with some of the things that you were saying, especially about oh man, I love like words change lives, and like words are so important. And yeah, it doesn't really matter who we are today. It only matters who we want to become and how hard we're willing to work to become like that person. And like we all go through challenges. We've all got our own journey, and it's yeah, I think it can be really hard at times, and you can get to like really like low places. And I think the biggest thing is reaching out for help, because like help is the most powerful word in the English dictionary. But it's so hard for people, like when they're in a hole, because they think that there's no way out and that people can't help. But yeah, for anyone watching like now, later, or listening on the podcast, if you need help, just there's people there out there to help. So all right, if anyone's watching, sorry, I've been checking the chat screen. If you have any questions, all right, please let us know. And I'll just put these graphics on. All right, Antoinette. Or with the clients that you've got and the ones that come to you and potential clients, what are the kind of like things that you see? What challenges do they have? Do you come across?
I think a lot of it is mind work. A lot of it is anxiety, and just they kind of stuck in life, and there's something holding them back. And very often it's that fear and shame, and there's something that sort of needs to be loosed in the past in order to be able to move forward and to be able to live in that freedom. Quite often I find people sort of have an idea of the life that they want to live, but they just don't know how to get there. And I was like that myself. And so it's a privilege to be able to walk people through that journey and watch them experience that freedom.
Yeah, awesome. And best way for people to get hold of you?
Facebook, you can find me, Antoinette Chantal de BARR on Facebook, or my website has links to everywhere, and you can contact me directly on my website, which is adiaryofhope.com. Make sure you put the adiaryofhope.com.
Awesome. And like, say if there's people like watching, listening, and they're thinking, oh, I'd love to get into coaching to, like help people. And what advice would you give them? What would you say?
Do it 100%, because it's changed my life, and everyone that I've spoken to that has had a coach in their life, it's changed their life as well. And find someone that has, I would encourage them to find someone that has been where they want to go. So someone that is just those couple of steps ahead of them, that can help them walk into victory in the areas of their life that they need. So
yeah, awesome. And what do you love most about coaching?
just when you just see someone go from stuck and just not knowing where to go in life, not knowing how to experience that freedom, not knowing how to be whole in body, soul, and spirit. When you just see someone walking into that and you see them thriving in that, it's the best thing in the world. I feel like it's what I'm put on this earth to do. So, and I do it from a place of, I've been there. I've journeyed that myself. And on my website, and my Instagram page, you can read a lot about my story as well, and kind of the journey that I've been on. So I coach from a place of me too.
Me too. Yeah. What's your Instagram page? What's that?
It's A Diary of Hope.
A diary of hope, with a diary of hope, as you said before.
Yes, A Diary of Hope. If you go on my website, then it's got the links to everything there. So.
Yeah, good stuff. And what's next for you? What's coming up? What's next?
I am in the middle of just finishing off writing an ebook that I'm giving out for free. So if anyone would like that, and it's actually called Freedom Over Fear, how to overcome fear and limiting beliefs that hold us back. So if anyone would like a free copy of that, just hop onto my Facebook or send me a message, any of the platforms, and I will, when it's done, I will be sure to send that over.
Oh, brilliant. And when are you going to have it finished? When's it going to be done?
My aim is September.
September? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
First week of September is my aim.
Cool. All right. Does anyone have any questions? This is last drinks before we go on to Michael, who's going to be the last for the evening, the last guest. Antoinette, was there anything that you wanted to discuss or ask, or do you have any final words?
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I think what you're doing is absolutely phenomenal. It's amazing. So yeah, bless you for that, and thank you for allowing me to be a part of it.
Oh, you are so welcome. Thank you for jumping on board, and all the support that you've given, not just to me but to everyone. And yeah, I'm so glad that you're part of this, and I can't wait to hear more of your story and and what you do. And you are amazing. So I appreciate you so much.
Thank you very much. Bye.
I'll see you later. All right, let's get him out here. All right, Michael Merrill. I'm going to get you straight out here. Last of the night. How are you, legend? Mike. Oh, okay. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I think this has happened to a lot of people. So if you go to settings, and then in settings, if you audio, and then audio, you've got audio input and output.
There we go.
There we go. That's it.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can. Lots of people have had that problem. I'm gonna have to put a disclaimer or a.
All good.
Yeah. How are you, man?
All good. All good. I'm doing pretty good. It's morning time for me here in the States.
What time?
8:30 in the morning.
8:30 in the morning, and it is 10:30 p.m. at night.
You're looking a little tired.
Everyone's been saying that in the chat. They're like, "Dre, you look really tired. You look really tired."
It's a marathon, so yeah.
Yeah. Mike,
Cool.
I'm really excited about yeah, because when we were talking like earlier, I'm just really excited about what you've got to share. So I'm going to leave you to it. You do your thing, and then we'll catch up afterwards. See if there's any questions, and I might have a couple for yourself, and then yeah, you just do your thing.
Okay. Yeah. So, hi everybody. My name is Mike, the Heal Your Gut Guy, and I used to suffer from really bad Crohn's disease. We're just on the toilet having diarrhea for a really long time. You know, not fun. And so I kind of went on this journey to try to figure it out because when I talked to the doctors, they were completely clueless. And when I tried to ask them logical questions like, what is the root cause? They didn't know. And, you know, that's okay not to know something, but these guys didn't even care or weren't even curious what the root cause was. And so, you know, I tried the drugs, that didn't work. I went on the diets and I went on the supplements and did the natural things. I did that for years. And, you know, I had some success. And I got to the point where, you know, I took this information and I started to help other people get better. But at one point, I hit a wall and these natural remedies just were not working at all. You know, people were like allergic to water. You know, like, what do you do when somebody is allergic to water? And eventually I discovered something called German New Medicine. And it was discovered, these discoveries about the body were made by a German doctor. His name was Dr. Hammer. And so he had a 90% success rate with terminal cancer. This is the cancer that you get and they just send you home. They don't even give you chemotherapy. They just send you home and they say, go die. You got 4 months to live. You got 4 weeks to live. We can't do anything for you. Go home. He had a 90% success rate with these people. And that was like supported in a European Portuguese court. And so essentially what he would do, he could look at someone's brain CT scans. He could hold their CT scan and, you know, look through the scans and go, okay, this person has lung cancer and this person has digestive issues and they're going to have eczema on their right arm. Oh, this ring right here in their brain. Oh, they're probably going to be depressed too. 100% accurate 100% of the time. His discoveries are based off of 5 biological laws that he discovered. And essentially, these rings in the brain, if someone had Crohn's disease, they're going to have a ring in their brainstem in a very specific location 100% of the time. 100% of the time, that ring is going to be there. And that ring is going to change its appearance. It can be a sharp ring or it can be a washed out ring, depending on a few factors. So essentially what he discovered is everyone with like lung cancer, everyone with like Crohn's disease, everybody with Crohn's disease, he would interview them and look at their brain CT scans and he would start to notice a pattern. Everybody with Crohn's has a ring in their brainstem in the exact same location 100% of the time. Someone who doesn't have Crohn's will never have that ring there ever. It will never be there. And so he discovered that Crohn's it happens after a traumatic event in their life. Like it's experienced as indigestible anger. You make me sick to my stomach. I can't digest you. If you go look at you know, all the different languages have different phrases for I can't digest this. I can't digest you. You make me sick to my stomach. What a load of crap. I don't want to hear that crap. Get it out of here. What a load of garbage. What a load of bull crap. It's in our language. And, you know, our subconscious mind takes things very literally. Like we're trying to, if you just like look at a picture of a lemon or you look at sour candy, your taste buds start to swell up and you start to create saliva. You know, the brain doesn't know the difference between, you know, some like a piece of food and something we're actually like a hard to digest situation, you know, that we're trying to digest in real life. And so for me, most of my digestive issues were centered around nasty breakups. like a breakup in high school, a breakup in college. We broke up. I didn't know what I did wrong. I didn't know why the relationship went south, and I was angry about it. Indigestible anger. A lot of people's gut issues will start around a bad breakup or something like that. So I've also seen people, their ulcerative colitis. This is like a crappy thing in their life that they just want to get rid of. And so essentially what's happening, you experience this crappy situation that you're having a hard time digesting, you're having a hard time absorbing. And so how the brain sees this as a threat, and it wants to survive this threat. So it puts the organ into overdrive, and it develops extra gut cells to help you digest and absorb this hard to digest thing in your life. And then when the conflict gets resolved, maybe you find a new girlfriend, or maybe you join the nunnery. You're no longer stressed out about this relationship. The body goes, oh, I don't need these extra gut cells. And it starts to get rid of them. And when we're removing physical flesh from the body, that's when you get the pain. That's when you get the blood. That's when you get the mucus in your stool. And where this turns into a chronic condition is if someone carries this behavior, they carry this behavior into their next relationship, or maybe it's the same relationship. They get back together a couple months, a couple weeks later, a couple days later, it's just back and forth with this indigestible anger is on, this indigestible anger is off. And that's how it turns into a chronic condition. And then they start to blame foods. Now foods become hard to digest. We're perceiving the foods as hard to digest. Now that when I eat this pizza, the doctor told me that this pizza is hard to digest. All right, let's develop extra gut cells to digest this pizza. And then after you eat the pizza and you go to bed, the body goes, okay, we don't need these extra gut cells anymore, and it gets rid of them. And this process just goes on and on and on and on and on. So when he would look at their brain CT scans and they were conflict active, my girlfriend broke up with me and I can't digest this and I'm super angry about it. Sharp ring in the brain, conflict active. Then let's say they break up and he finds a new girlfriend and the person is happy. Conflict resolution. We're getting rid of the extra gut cells. There's going to be a lot of blood and mucus and pain. And so the ring in the brain is going to go into a washed out. It's going to look washed out. There's healing happening on the brain level and on the organ level. That's why we get the fevers and the headaches. And so essentially, somebody with Crohn's disease, the way that I help somebody with Crohn's or ulcerative colitis is I help them find the conflict first. What was something stressful? And that could be an hour conversation. It just depends on how well the person knows themselves. I had a hard time finding my conflict, and I go by Mike the Heal Your Gut Guy. Like, I obsess about this stuff. But for some people, it's clear in their mind. It's one student, he was working for his dad and he wasn't really happy, and he found a new job, and the new job was just awful. And so he was developing extra gut cells to help him digest this really crappy job. And then finally one day he decided to quit and go back to work with his dad. And on that day, that is when the horrible bloody diarrhea started, because he no longer needed these extra gut cells to digest his new crappy job. And he was able to fix it relatively quickly because he understood what his body was doing, and he didn't get trapped into like the crazy restrictive diets. And because what I see most of the time, what's causing somebody's digestive issues, it's the stress in their life, or it's the condition itself. Oh, this is such a crappy condition. I'm always crapping my pants. I can't do the things that I want. My life is just crap because of this. And I'm stuck with it forever. The doctor says I'm stuck with it forever. And I don't find the GI doctors authority figures at all. I mean, they have pounded billions of dollars into research, and they're not even curious about the root cause. Like, what are they doing with all that money? It's absolutely ridiculous. There's no excuses. And we already, like, it. When I first learned German New Medicine, I was like, there is no way that these conflicts and these resolutions line up 100% of the time. That's insane. That's crazy. And I've been doing this for about 1.5 years now. It always lines up. I'm always shocked. Like, the symptoms always start on the resolution. So, and then the third thing that's causing a lot of people's digestive issues is just the crazy restrictive dieting. Perceiving foods is hard to digest. And these theories, I'm like sympathetic to people reacting to food. That used to be me. But these theories, these ideas were not allowed to exist 100 years ago because you only had access to the foods in your area. If you were allergic to a food, you just simply starved to death. So, like, this idea wasn't even allowed to exist. And I have seen people who were allergic to water, were down to eating 2 or 3 foods, get rid of all of their food intolerances literally in a day or two once they identified the conflict. Once they identify their conflict, like, their brain can just go, oh, okay, yeah, I remembered I celebrated getting my new job, and I celebrated at a burger joint, and I got a burger and I got a milkshake. It wasn't the burger and the milkshake. I ate that burger and milkshake 1,000,000 times before that day, and I had 0 issues. The thing that was different on that day wasn't the burger and the milkshake. It was me quitting my job and getting a new job. That was the resolution. But this person, because they didn't know any better, they blamed the food. And, it makes sense. It's a digestive issue. So it makes sense. So, and the beautiful thing about German New Medicine, it just doesn't apply to gut issues. It applies to every organ in the body, every tissue in the body. It's the most intelligent explanation for disease and, disorders that I have seen. And I have literally tried everything. I've done coffee enemas. If you don't know what that is, it's where you shoot coffee up your butt. It's not my favorite way to take coffee in the morning. I've done oxygen therapy. I've done acupuncture. I mean, you name it, I've tried it. I've spent at least $100,000 trying different remedies, like seawater therapy, like spring water therapy. I have literally tried everything. And German New Medicine, it just makes sense at the end of the day, because most of the modern medicine community and even the holistic medicine community, they're neglecting the fact that your brain controls your body. Even with things like physical injury, if somebody punches me in the gut, my gut doesn't become inflamed until my brain has a say in it. I get punched in the gut, and then it goes, okay, the nerves send a signal to my brain. Okay, what are we going to do about this? And then the brain sends a signal back to do something. Inflammation, I mean, the whole culture, even in holistic and modern medicine, is so broken that the language is messed up. Inflammation is the body healing. Inflammation, like, people say, oh, I want to heal my gut, and their gut is inflamed. The body, that means the gut is healing. We don't want to get rid of the inflammation. We want to stop the injury. We want to stop the injury. And the injury is the stress putting the gut in and out of overdrive. The injury is the cell removal. So what's causing the injury is this person hasn't fully come to peace with this conflict, with the stress theme in their life. And if you want to learn more about GNM, there's German New Medicine. It was just translated into English about 10 years ago. It's been translated into Italian and Spanish probably like 20 years ago. So it's relatively new to the English community. I got in it about 1 year or 2 ago, and it has like changed my life. I went from like 150 pounds to now I'm 180, 190 pounds. eating pretty much the same amount of food and eating anything I want now instead of being like on a really strict, bland, boring diet. And yeah, it's amazing. It's not this magic cure-all pill. It just helps us understand what is actually happening in the body. And just to put this point home one more time, the brain controls the whole body. Toxins aren't intelligent enough to create all these cellular adaptations in different organs. Toxins and bacteria and fungi, they are not intelligent enough to create these these malfunctions. And I can't even say that they're malfunctions. I'm not saying it's a good design. It's just the design that we're stuck with. I don't think these programs help us survive these situations. They actually make it harder. But if you look at life, like when we're like, if you go back in time and we're like these very simple life forms where we're swimming through the primordial pool, it makes sense that the cell proliferation, the extra cells on the gut, could help these organisms survive. So, yeah, that's about all I have to say. I see some questions, or I see some comments. So I don't know what we want. We want to do live Q&A now, Dre?
Yeah, let's do this. Go down to Paramers. She said, oh my goodness, this makes so much sense. Someone close to my heart went through terrible trauma and started developing Crohn's.
Yeah, so if that's the case, the way that she experienced it as a hard to digest situation, she couldn't digest it. So the purpose of the small intestines, the first part of the small intestines, they do more of a digesting function. And then the second part of the small intestines is more of an absorptive function. So it's like something she couldn't accept, and she was angry about it. So with her, I would kind of ask her, like, how'd you feel about this trauma? And, so the way we fix this is we have to ask her, what change do you need to make in your life to make this conflict impossible to experience? And that advice could change, depending on what the trauma was and what her life situation is.
Yeah, I love that. That's the legends. Right, if you've got any questions, this is the last session of the night, so drop your questions in here in the chat box. We've got Lynn Lee saying wow, and Lynn's also said it's in our language.
Someone's saying would love to learn more about the lack of nutrients in our blood.
Oh, where's that?
I see it on my chat. So someone has a lack of nutrients in their blood. It could be a few different things. One thing, they're just not eating like a nutrient dense diet. But what I often see is like someone will be getting tons and tons of nutrients, but their blood tests will look bad. And that's simply because they're so stressed out. They have this organ in overdrive, that organ in overdrive, and it is just burning through nutrients. So, it's a process of getting the stress under control, so these organs aren't running in overdrive and burning through nutrients. And then I like to follow the Weston A. Price diet to get more nutrients, back into the body. It's kind of like an ancestral diet.
And then this one from Paramers. What are the daily do's and don'ts for someone who is suffering Crohn's?
So the daily do's and don'ts. So the first thing someone should do with Crohn's disease before they do anything else is identify the conflict shock. What was this traumatic thing that happened to them that they were angry about? Because that gets the brain thinking differently. Because once they identify the cause, they're no longer going to blame food. And that's the second thing. all food is safe. I understand some people are reacting to foods and those symptoms are real, but that process is controlled by the brain. It makes absolutely zero sense for the body to reject energy and nutrients. And 100 years ago, I mean, energy and nutrients was like very scarce. Like you had to eat what was in your community, like what was in your location, what was in your area. So identify the stress, identify that stress. Don't blame foods. Understand that your symptoms, like when you get diarrhea, you ask yourself, instead of saying, you know, the average person is going to go, oh my God, I'm stuck with this for life. Instead, you go, okay, my body is getting rid of these extra gut cells. What did I resolve? And when you know what that stress is, you can take those steps to change your, like, what are practical changes you can make in your life to put this to bed for good.
Love that. All right, guys, girls, ladies, gents, do we have any more questions? Michael, what's the best way to get hold of you?
So most of my content is on YouTube at Heal Your Gut Guy. And I also have an Instagram, which is Heal Your Gut Guy as well. And yeah, just go there and enjoy. I come out with videos usually like 5 times a week. I'm just cranking out content. So
wow, it's heaps.
Yeah.
And then, like, do you have any workshops, programs that people can jump on? Or
yeah, so the one thing that I do have is called the Rapid Gut Healing Program, and it is I have a bunch of educational videos, like 20 hours of educational videos. It comes with a Facebook support group where I answer your questions every day. And we also do live Q&As 3 times a week. I have 2 other coaches. One, her name is Deanna, and she also used to suffer from ulcerative colitis, and she fixed herself with German New Medicine. She's been doing it for 10 years. She's been doing it a very long time. And then I also have another coach who's he's Italian, so he's been learning from people who've been doing G&M for like 20 years, and he's a hypnotist, and he healed himself of IBS. So we got this. It's just, yeah, that's it, and it's the Rapid Gut Healing Program, and it comes with educational videos and a Facebook support group where we do live Q&As 3 times a week.
awesome. All right, thank you. All right, do you have any words of wisdom, any parting words, any empowering, inspirational, or even a joke? Because I love jokes. Anything that you'd like to leave us with?
So one of the most powerful things that have, you know, health issues are just so incredibly stressful. And, you know, German New Medicine can't fix everything. It's helping us understand how the body operates. And so I just encourage everybody to learn the basics of German New Medicine, because it's how our body functions, and it will relieve, you know, especially if you're dealing with a chronic condition, it can bring you a lot of peace of mind and help you pursue your dreams better, because you don't have this monkey on your back anymore. So that's a
Big Mike, just want to say thank you for coming on, sharing your wisdom, sharing your gold, sharing your experience. Really appreciate you, and being part of the collective, like just under 100 coaches trying to raising money for Rett syndrome and Angelman syndrome. So appreciate you so much, giving up your time, coming on, and sharing legends. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I wish I could talk more about Rett and Angelman syndrome from a German New Medicine perspective, but a baby can experience conflicts inside the womb, and, you know, being birthed can be a traumatic experience depending on what happens. Having the umbilical cord wrapped around your neck, getting, you know, injections and stuff like that, being separated from the mother. So depending on how the baby experiences it, these different things can happen. So it's I would be here another 30 minutes trying to explain it. So I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, no worries at all. All right, Mike. Yeah, thank you so much. And yeah, we'll
Mhm.
catch up with you very soon.
Okay, thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes day 1 of the 100 mini masterclasses. I am tired. And now I've got to go and do some links for day 2 and day 3 and schedule a few more events. So just want to say a massive thank you to all of the speakers today, all of the coaches, and to everybody that has tuned in for like 5 sessions throughout the day. It's been huge, and it's been such a good day. It's been, yeah, night breath. It's been, yeah, thank you for tuning in. Yeah, it's been like just a massive day, massive night. It's been awesome. Like, just super impressed, super proud, and I'll see you guys in the morning.